Hello, hello, hello. So today we're going to be talking about how to manipulate or plug and chug something into an equation. And basically, we just literally plug in whatever variable is there, even if there's multiple, we're going to plug it in. So I'm going to try to color coordinate it, but basically, you have to be able to organize this. All right, just how I'm doing, kind of that triangle that we've been working on. Wherever there's a W, I'm putting a parenthesis. Reason being is sometimes it might not just be a number. Sometimes it might be a whole nother equation. So we're going to plug in that -4 anytime we see a W. So I'm going to plug that in, and then I'm going to do PEMDAS. So first things first, I multiply. 8 times -4 is a -32. And then I'm going to write down everything else that I didn't change. So I'm going to have this 9. And that plus sign, we don't really need. If you want to, you can include it. But we don't need that because we already have the sign. And then I'm going to bring down that -4 or that -4. And then I just keep going. 9 minus 32 is going to be a negative, because remember, different signs, we subtract them, take the sign of the bigger number. So it's going to be a -23. Bring down everything else. Now I have -23 minus 4. Remember, same sign when adding and subtracting. We add them together. So 23 plus 4 is 27, and then we just keep that sign. Boom. That's our answer. So again, when we have this equation or this expression, and then it would say when W equals -4, it would be -27. All right, so the next one, again, now our variable changed, but it's the same process. So we're just going to plug and chug. So whenever we see a D, I'm going to put a parenthesis. So 4 minus 2. And again, I put those parentheses because we're going to plug and chug everything in there. So I'm going to put a -5 and a -5. Now I'm going to do PEMDAS. So 4 times -5. When multiplying and dividing in two different signs, it's always a negative. 20, because 4 times 5 is 20. Now I'm going to bring down everything else. Technically, you could do this in one step, but I'm going to try to, again, show you how to organize. Now, -2 times a -5, again, multiplying and dividing. If they have the same sign, it's always a positive. So 2 times 5 is 10. So -2 times -5 is a positive 10. I'm going to bring down the rest. I have a -20 plus 10. Again, when adding and subtracting with two different signs, we just subtract those numbers and take the sign of the bigger. So 20 minus 10 is 10, and I keep the sign of the bigger number. So when we have 4D minus 2D, when D equals -5, our answer is -10. All right, our next one, again, now I'm just showing you different varieties, writing down, you should be writing down every single one, exactly how I'm doing it. So we have 5h plus 3h plus 7 when h equals 4. There's a couple ways to do it. We could either combine like terms if we want. I'm not going to do that for right now. If you want to, fine. But I'm going to, anytime I see an h, I'm putting a parenthesis. So since h equals 4, I'm going to plug and chug that 4, and then I'm going to PEMDAS. So again, I'm going to simplify it. 5 times 4 is 20. I'm going to write down everything else. I still have multiplication, so positive 3 times 4 is a positive 12. And since it's positive, we're going to include that plus sign. I'm going to bring down everything else that I did not use or change for that. And then since it's addition, I'm going to go left to right. 20 plus 12 is 32. Plus 7 is 39. So again, when we have the expression 5h plus 3h plus 7, when h equals 4, it equals 39. All right, so for the next one, there's a couple ways to do it. First thing you have to remember is when you see a number outside of a parenthesis, that just means multiplication. So I'm going to do it a different way than what I'm going to show you right now, but you could distribute. Because remember, when there are two terms inside there, that 3 has to be multiplied by both. And then you could plug and chug. But I think it's easier. And again, that's just my way. I don't care. I don't care how you get to the office. I just care that you get there. So I'm going to still plug and chug. Anytime I see a D, I'm going to put it in 8. So I have 3. Again, I see that D. So I'm just going to leave an empty parenthesis and then plug and chug whatever's in there. Reminder, parentheses with PEMDAS, you restart PEMDAS in there. So multiplication, so negative 7 times 8 is a negative 56. I'm going to write down everything else that I didn't use. So the parenthesis, since it's a negative, I don't need to add another negative, right? And then I'm going to keep simplifying. Negative 4 minus 56. Again, when adding and subtracting, same sign. We add them together and keep the sign. So 4 plus 56 is 60. I'm going to keep that negative because that's what we do. We keep that sign. And then 3 times negative 60. Well, again, if you know 3 times 6 is an 18, or in this case, a negative 18, then we can just add that 0, and you get negative 180. All right, so this next one, that fraction, again, a fraction is just another way to write a division problem. So I'm going to go ahead and plug and chug. I have that negative, and I see a b, so I'm going to have that 8 divided by 4 plus 7. Now, you can either ignore that negative and then add it to the bottom, or you could say, well, negative 8 divided by 4 is a negative 2 plus 7. And then negative 2 plus 7, again, two different signs. I subtract them together, so 7 minus 2 is 5. And then I keep the sign of the bigger number, so in this case, we keep that positive. And that's our answer when we have this. All right, and for our last example, we are, now we have kind of a bigger problem, mashing a couple ideas together. But again, now I have 2 x's. So anytime I see an x, I'm going to put a parenthesis and then plug in whatever is there. So I have 4 plus 36 divided by parenthesis plus 2 parenthesis. 2 parenthesis. And again, since x equals 9, I can substitute that back in or plug and chug. And then I just solve. So fraction is another way to write a division problem, and then multiplication. Reminder, PEMDAS, you can do either multiplication or division first. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to do 36 divided by 9, which is 4. I'm going to write down everything else that I didn't use. I'm going to still multiply out that 2 times 9, which is in positive 18. Bring down everything else. 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 18. And then 8 plus 18 is 26. So you are going to have to do one of these. A lot of different problems. Again, this is sort of building up to where we can plug and chug whether it's something like this or Pythagorean theorem or a quadratic equation, whatever it is. So make sure you watch this. You took notes. If you need a refresher, watch it on YouTube. And yeah, get done your work. Have a good day. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Bye.